How to start an apparel store online. So this is a very easy business to start. Not an easy business to grow, but one that essentially anyone can do from the comfort of their bedroom. It's really straightforward how to build a apparel store online. It's quite simple these days. You see, all you have to do is use dropshipping to take care of everything, because then you don't have to worry about all the complicated things associated with sourcing fabrics, all that kind of stuff. There are already companies out there who've sourced products that you can just use and slap a brand on there and you're good to go. And I've started probably about 3 different apparel brands in the last 10 years, all with varying degrees of success. But I would say the best way to make real money with apparel is, 1, you either make the apparel yourself, or 2, you get it shipped in from China, so that the manufacturing of the actual clothing or what have you is cost effective. Because with drop shipping, and that's really the one I'll talk about because that's the one I was using, drop shipping is expensive right out the gate. You're already paying for materials that have already been shipped around. You see, they've already been shipped in from wherever they were originally to the drop shipping company. And now the drop shipping company is going to print on the product for you, and then they're going to charge a premium because you got them to slap a brand on or what have you. Now, the way to curb some of the costs would be to bulk order a bunch from this drop shipper, so you can reduce the costs that way. But what you'll find is the margins still aren't as great as they could be. So there's a few things to keep in mind here. An online apparel store can be started with, 1, having a Shopify website, or 2, having WooCommerce, which is a WordPress e-commerce website. I've used both, and for the fact that WooCommerce is free and Shopify isn't, I like WooCommerce, and I like the fact that I can customize it any way I want. So there's the website, right? The website can be created quite quickly and shouldn't take more than a day to put a website together. And then you throw whichever item you want to sell right on the website. So say you want to use drop shipping, right? Because this is the easiest approach to starting this apparel business. Well, drop shipping, there's a few different options. I like Printful. That's the one I've used. And I can't really think of too many others that I would recommend, because they all have their upsides and downsides. But I like Printful because, well, they have a number of different accessories that you can order, and it's pretty straightforward. Now, I would say, if you want to have a huge range of different things, maybe you want to sell artwork, Redbubble is actually another option. And they're not really like a drop shipper per se, because you throw your brand on their products and you sell products on their website. So they make the most of the money, and you get the whichever price you set, you get the difference. But the thing is, when you drive traffic to Redbubble, somebody might not buy your product, they might buy someone else's product. You see, you're driving traffic to a website that houses a number of different brands. So you're not driving traffic to your own brand. It's a bit of a concern. Something to think about. Now, you could also use Amazon. Fulfilled by Amazon. You could use a their merchandise software is called Merch by Amazon, so there's that option as well. But a true dedicated dropshipper would be like Printful, right? Because you're not driving traffic to Printful, you're actually driving traffic to your own website. And when people buy from your shopping cart, well, essentially what's happening is you keep them on your site. You're not sending them off to another place. That's why Printful has a bit of that advantage. But in terms of scalability, eventually you're going to need to source materials from a place that is reasonably priced. I mean, the thing about Printful is you could say that it was printed in the USA or something like that. So you could maybe actually convince people that your product is higher quality, charge more money, and there you go, you're set. So I'm not too concerned about that, but you have to get really specific. What I notice, and I made this mistake, I came out with like hundreds of designs, hundreds of different SKUs. I'm like, well, hey, why don't I just try selling all these different designs? But that's not really building a brand. What does it all stand for? And when you're trying to build an apparel business online, you might need to look at your brand. Figure out what it is you're trying to sell here. What's your purpose behind all this? What's your mission? Like, what does your clothing do? Does it make people feel good? Does it make people feel cool? Like, what kind of feeling are you creating? So that's what you have to sort of map out. Because just deciding, hey, I'm going to sell some t-shirts, well, why your t-shirts? Because it's already a company out there, and they already have similar fabrics. They already have their brand going on. So what's different from yours versus the others? And this brand positioning is so critical because that's what will make you stand out. I mean, the material from Burberry or Gucci, it's all the same compared to maybe like Hanes. It could very well be the same kind of material in some instances. The fabrics aren't any better. So why is there such a discrepancy? Well, there's something about the brand. It's a luxury brand. And, well, the positioning, right? So right out the get-go, you want to figure out, what does your brand stand for? You want to go high class, medium class, low class? How do you want to position it? And then own it. Don't undervalue yourself if you're trying to be a luxury brand. People don't want to pay less. They want to pay more. So charge more. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to sell, but that's where the marketing comes in, right? You have your website. You essentially drive traffic to the website through social media, through collaborations, through advertising, PR, guest posts, all that stuff. You drive traffic to the apparel. Now, you might think, well, maybe this can be a supplementary thing. I mean, it probably should. An apparel business is a tough business, okay? Like any business, really. So you might want to use it as a supplement to whatever else you have. Maybe you have books. You're trying to sell books. Apparel works really well as a complement, right? Like you'll see a lot of YouTubers with Teespring. So they'll have like t-shirt designs and they'll sell it through YouTube because maybe they can't make enough money through just creating videos. So they sell t-shirts. It's not a bad idea. It's a supplementary thing. So maybe you come up with a brand and it's aligned with something else that you're doing. So it's like a piece of the overall business. So that might be something to sort of package together. As there's an alarm going off near me. So hopefully this doesn't pick up, but I think that just about wraps it up. I'm gonna stop because I don't know what's going on with this alarm, but that's really how you start it, right? Some of the things that I mentioned, and you just go for it. Anyone can start this apparel thing within a day. It's not a big deal. Oh, the alarm turned off. That means I can keep going. So, I mean, I've essentially covered it. You choose either overseas manufacturing, or you use drop shipper that already has all these products on hand and they slap your logo on and you're good to go, or you maybe use like an e-commerce site and you just slap a logo on there. It's very similar to the drop shipper, except you're driving traffic to their website. Is that a good thing? Well, hey, if everyone's buying on Amazon, maybe it's a good idea to just send people to Amazon. I mean, set up a store through there and you're good to go. I mean, you wouldn't need a website technically, because you could just drive people to that place, right? So lots to think about here, but plenty of resources online to actually set up an apparel store. So there's like no excuse. If you want to get into t-shirts, then it's really straightforward. It's something you can do today. So yeah, what are you waiting for? Go for it. If this is something that you want to do, then go for it. See what happens. At the end of the day, your niche is critical. Don't just say, I'm making clothing for pets. Get specific. What pet? What kind of pet? What kind of pet owner should be buying this? Figure all that out. Because then you could be the leading provider of apparel for golden retrievers. Something like that. Hats for golden retrievers. Like, decide how you want to go about doing all this. And go for it. Okay, that's it. I'm wrapping this up. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Bye.